Okay, so welcome everyone. I'll pretend we're starting right now. I am going to cook and we are going to get your email addresses at the end and I'm going to send you the recipes.
Yes.
So that way you can sit and relax and watch, pretend it's just like one of those cooking shows where you're just watching. And then, but I can't help but give all sorts of tips that I'm not going to be putting in the recipes. So
Okay.
maybe, so maybe you want to have a pad of paper, but you don't need to be in the kitchen. So how's everybody?
I'm excited to learn how to be a Jewish cooker in my 70s.
I'm Barbara.
We are now
you're
live
target.
on Facebook, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, good. Hi, Facebook. In case anybody's out there, Moji and I were becoming very high tech. We're going on Facebook because we just thought, not everybody wants to like tune in this way. But Barbara, you're my target audience. Well, everybody's my target audience.
Okay, I can be a target.
So here's the audience. Now, poor Amy has heard this 100 times, and so has Joyce, and Moji's heard it like a million times. But my way of cooking that I hope to impart is that cooking can be really easy and fun and not tedious. So, Amy, just take a small nap while I do my monologue because you've heard this so many times. So, wait, I'm leaving you for, where's my cookbook? I was gonna, so I'm showing you, so Sam Sifton.
Oh, yeah, from the Times.
Is from the Times. I am in love with him. He has a weekly, no, he writes like 3 days a week. And his whole thing, see this, I'm showing this to you so that I can have like backup that it's not just me. I feel like he kind of took this from me. No recipes. So in his, it's so cool. So this is like an example of his recipes. There's no measurements. Do you see this? It's just like,
Wow.
yeah. So what you're going to see today is I'm not really using recipes. I'm just using ingredients. And what I'm hoping to be able to impart to you is that you can also do this. And I have proof because, so the history is my mother's an amazing cook. I was hoping she maybe would come, but I don't think she's going to today, but maybe she will. And she's an amazing cook and she's very exact and she's a gourmet. And I never went into the kitchen at all because it was like too scary. And I thought, oh, I'm never going to be a cook. And how am I going to like have how am I going to ever eat except for takeout? And then I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I just started and I realized that you really can cook intuitively. And it's scary, I think, sometimes for people because they just assume they have to use recipes, but you really don't. So today we are cooking maybe 4 things. So here are the rules of this class. If you like need to go, don't feel obligated. If you want to go off camera. I'm so happy you're all here. We are recording these so you can go back later, or if you can't catch the whole thing, you can watch it. And then also, I'm just all about your questions and comments. And I wish Aviva were here because we have Aviva who usually tells me what I'm doing is wrong, which I look forward to, or giving me all sorts of advice and that I'm not really Israeli or I would know that or that. So anyway, feel free to chime in if you have ways of doing things that I'm doing differently so that we learn from each other, right? Okay, any questions before we begin to cook a lot of things? And Moj, maybe we'll go off of mute so that people can just.
They're welcome to. And I just want to let you know, we do have a few people on Facebook. And for those on Facebook, if they put their questions in the chat, I will read them to you.
Yes. And wait, first, I am remiss. Let me introduce you to Moji, who everybody knows, who without whom none of this happens. And in fact, would we even have a Rota Shalom? No, we wouldn't. And then Dave, who's like scrubbing the floors behind me. This is Dave, my cute sous chef. Do you have anything to say?
My competition is Sam Sifton and Bruce Springsteen.
That's true. but I did choose. I worked through that, and in the end, I would still choose him. Anyway, so we're going to begin. So these are our four things. I'm going to try to make four. So, usually on cooking shows, they make like one thing, but I don't like that. I want to leave you a lot of stuff. So, the first thing we're going to, well, let me start by saying Moroccan chicken soup, because the theme was Passover from around the world. Okay. So Moroccan chicken soup, Moroccan chicken matzo ball soup. I kind of added the matzo balls to make it Passover. I mean, full disclosure, I don't think this is really a Passover recipe, but anyway, but it can be, and it's going to be amazing.
And you cleared it with Stacy.
Yes. Oh, then the next thing I'm making is I want to teach you about veggie kugels and how you can basically make an amazing veggie kugel with the same, just you can switch out different vegetables once you understand the core ingredients. Then I'm making haroset. I'm calling it Israeli because my mother's Israeli and she taught me. Not sure it's really Israeli. And then what is my last thing? Oh, we're making California matzo brie. I did make it up. It's basically matzo brie, but the twist is we're from California now, so we're having like other cool stuff in it, and it's really amazing. Okay, so here we begin. Hopefully you're not going to get seasick. Dave is kind of going to follow me around the kitchen a little bit so you can see things. Any questions before we begin? No? Okay, here we go. So I did this for you because also, here's my thing, beauty. Everything should be beautiful. This is very important in my world, that you should be enjoying like your vegetables, and we're so lucky for those of us who are here from California that it's so easy to get beautiful vegetables. So I'm going to show you, this is my pot, which is blue. I'm not saying that you have to do these things, but it's just very, very pretty. So chicken soup, first of all, raise of hands and also chime in. It's so quiet. If you have dogs and stuff, maybe mute yourself, but otherwise, Moj, is it okay if we take everyone off mute so we can have kind of more of a conversation situation?
They're welcome to do that, absolutely.
Let's do that. And then just be aware, if someone comes in and starts talking to you, just put yourself on mute.
Where are your kids? You can't cook without your kids.
I know. Well, sadly, it's our empty nest. So now it's all about the dogs. It's sad. Anyway, okay, first my monologue on chicken soup. Chicken soup, we're going to make it for Passover, but raise of hands, who makes chicken soup? Like a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
My feeling about chicken soup is that if I have anxiety, depression, world weariness, there is just nothing like the act of cooking chicken soup. I can't even, do we agree? Are the people who
yes.
make it? It's just, forget that it's amazing and you have it all week to eat. There's just something, I don't know if it's in our DNA, it's the act of cooking it that is so amazing. So here we go. And it is, my daughter, I'm trying to get Jessie to make it. She's still afraid of making it. Chicken soup is the easiest freaking thing you could ever make. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how. So here's my pot. And I am simply going to, all right, Dave has left the kitchen, so I'm gonna be partially off camera. All right. So I got my, okay, I can never, whatever. This is my organic chicken. I had it cut up at the butcher. All right. Now I like to take polls. Who rinses their chicken? And I need honesty. Who rinses their chicken? Okay, Paula doesn't, Joyce does. See, I feel like it's Jewish, like we have, Harriet does. Okay, but I'm just going to tell you something. I'm going to say something radical. I'm not doing it. And I'll tell you why. Dave's a doctor, and he says all the bacteria evaporates once you boil it. So,
And they don't evaporate in your sink.
And they don't evaporate in your sink. See?
Great
You
point.
see the bonus of tuning in? You get a doctor.
Great point.
Huh?
Good point. I'll share that with my mother.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've just put my chicken in. Okay. And then, wait, this is for the matzo balls, so and then I'm putting in, and again, you're going to get these recipes. So just sit back, relax, ask questions. So this is Oh, Dave has peeled this for me. So, you know, I know we're at different levels of cooking, but I've said this so many times, but I just want to say again that you do not have to have mad knife skills in the kitchen, and I am proof. So here I cut this in quarters. All right, I'm that in. Then, oh, by the way, first the idea is hard vegetables. Now, for some of you, you may be like, why are you telling me I know? But for those of us who maybe don't, okay, Dave's gonna do this. Hard vegetables first. Hard vegetables are, actually, let's go through our ingredients. Onions, okay, carrots, parsley, that goes in first. Those are the hard vegetables. Then, no, we're not doing parsley for this. Then we have the Moroccan. So this is different. This is not traditional chicken soup. So I add zucchini. These are two kinds of zucchinis. These are two kinds of zucchinis plus the squash. And then and then here's the thing that I love to add, which is butternut squash. Now, my Moroccan Israeli aunt in Israel puts pumpkin in, but I didn't, because in Israel you can get like cut pumpkin everywhere, so I didn't get that. But anyway, so I did just a tiny bit of prep to go faster. What I did, because sometimes people are afraid of getting like a giant butternut squash. What do you do with that? Okay, Paula's not afraid. She's shaking her head. Okay, poke holes in it. Throw it in your microwave for like 6 minutes so it's a little bit soft, okay? Then we're going to, oh my God, the onions, I have to take these away. Then we're going to peel, and I think you're gonna peel, and then I'm gonna show you. Okay, so here are my carrots. Now I really like to, Barbara, I'm like thinking about Barbara because you're coming to Jewish cooking later in life. A lot of people feel like you have to cut your veggies like very even and thin. I actually really like having big like chunks because I just think when you have it in your bowl, it's nice to have like a big chunk of carrots and a big chunk of the zucchini. Also, it's faster. Okay, so I'm putting carrots. That's maybe 3 carrots. Again, guess what? It doesn't, like, use the amount of ingredients you want. Now, one thing is celery. This is a tip. Celery, like this middle part, I personally I think it's gross. Like, I don't want to eat it. So what I do is I leave it at the core, okay? And then I just put it in, I rinse it because there is dirt. You don't want dirt, or you won't notice it. And then I put it in and I cook with it, and then I take it out at the end because celery actually has a lot of flavor in it. Now, if it's not gonna fit, so I'm just gonna hold on, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna cut the top off so it fits, okay? I'm putting it in to my thing. That's okay, so this is what look, see, Dave did this with the squash. These are very pretty, mine are never, he's a surgeon. So his slices are very pretty. I would just be like, whatever, and then throw away I dump out the seeds, and it doesn't matter what it looks like, but look how pretty it is. This is coming at the end, okay? Otherwise, this is one of the few rules I'm gonna tell you, because I'm not big into rules, is that you want it at the end because you don't want it to disintegrate, right? You want it to like hold its texture. Okay, so and then parsley. I'm also big into parsley, even though I don't like parsley to eat it, it's very flavorful. So I'm gonna just cut off the tops. And this I'm gonna rinse because again, I think there's like dirt. Now, if I had twine, I don't like I wish we did have twine. Do we have twine?
Yeah, we do. Want me to do it?
Yeah, so maybe go get twine. Because here's the thing that this is what I've been doing lately, which has been kind of nice, is I wrap it in twine, and then at the end you can just throw it out. Because it's like, otherwise, you know how the parsley gets like, it's ugly. You don't want ugly things in your soup, right? And you just it's not, some people like cooked parsley, but I don't. Okay, so Dave is gonna get twine and he is gonna wrap it in this giant thing and put it in there. Okay. So what do we have? We did that. So those are our hard vegetables. And now what I'm gonna do, okay, look at this. Now I have to say, yeah, I have to say it's like I wanted to use this pretty thing, but I gotta say it's quite small looking. This is always my quandary. Like I just want a gigantic pot and I don't.
We have one.
We do have a gigantic
Wanna
pot.
get it?
No, because now I already put chicken in this. Okay, it's fine.
We gotta wash it.
Julie, would
Yes.
you use a pressure cooker?
You know, I have never used a pressure cooker. I don't. Why would you? You mean for the chicken
Works
soup?
quicker.
I guess you kind of should.
Way
That's
too
just.
big.
It
No,
says
let me get
that.
the
All
stone
right,
pot.
we have to be flexible. Sadly, we're not going to be able to use the pretty blue thing. Okay, I know people love pressure cookers. I don't know why I feel like it's against Jewish law to make chicken soup in a pressure. Moji, do you think it's against Jewish law?
That's very funny. My mother would agree with you.
I
But
don't like.
convenient.
I guess for me, part of cooking chicken soup is like it's the therapy of how long it takes. Like those pressure cookers, don't they have? Isn't it all like locked down so you don't even smell it? You know, the thing about chicken soup, the joy of it is it's cooking and you're smelling it, and it's your whole house smells like it. So
You
anyway,
missed
Well, I get it. Okay, but I would beg to differ in terms of the final product. You put everything in there, you set it, and it's done. I just wondered if you did it. So it's kind of, you've got a cultural response to
I
it
have
rather than really a cooking
a
response.
rational response. Okay, but Sarah, here's my rational response. Is that I don't know how you would deal with the different cooking times because see, you really, because the other thing we're using in this, we're using cabbage, which I haven't taken out yet, but we're using cabbage and the butternut squash. And that would turn to mush if you cook everything at once. So that, I think that's maybe my answer for that. But you did remind me that I forgot the cabbage. So,
It's out here.
oh, is it? Okay, yeah. So I am today using Napa cabbage, but you can also use green cabbage. And you want to add these things at the end. Sarah, let's debate this.
I understand what you're saying.
Issue.
I want you to know that with pressure cooking, you don't
Yeah.
have to put everything in at the same time.
Oh, okay.
You can cook part of it for a
Okay.
certain length of time. You can let the pressure go down either by itself or putting it in cold water, and then you can add the other items. It doesn't all have to be at
Okay.
the same time.
Do you think that because it's all kind of locked down, does that at all mean that like you actually, like it's not wafting into your house because like the lid is on?
Actually, it does. The pressure cooker has to release steam to maintain a certain pressure. It can't go endlessly, capped off. It releases the steam, and that has the fragrance. I see the pressure cooker as reducing toil of having to stand in the kitchen. I mean, to me, that's the hard part of cooking, is having to stand around so much.
That's so interesting. This is okay. My first response is, but as Jews, we have to toil. If we're not suffering, then frankly, who are we? But also, I guess my feeling is like, okay, this is why a lot of people love pressure cooking. I think it's personal. Like I don't feel like I'm toiling. I feel like I'm putting it on and then I'm going about my life.
Right.
And then my chicken soup's ready. And I don't know. I think there's no right answer. And I'm glad that you raised the issue because I think it's great for people to know that, they can do it in lots of ways. Oh, Laura's in. Pressure cooking is very efficient. Okay, Moji, can you read Laura's? Laura, I wish you would come on Zoom so that we can hear your full opinion. Laura's a big cook and she wrote an amazing book.
And also, you have a helper. Most of us are alone cooking.
I-
You have someone helping you.
Yes, it's true. But of course, do you think this is what normally happens? No, I'm usually
Of
alone.
course it
I have
is.
no idea what normally happens.
Okay. I usually cook alone. But anyway, this is
Julie,
our,
where did you see that comment? I'm sorry. I
oh,
don't,
it was on Facebook.
oh, you're doing both. You go, girl. Okay.
Oh, I'm not on Zoom?
It
You
was,
are on Zoom. You're
I'm
on
on Zoom, but
Zoom.
we're also doing a Facebook Live because we're becoming so technical.
Hi, Laura.
The comment popped up. I saw Laura, my friend. Okay,
I
so
put it in the chat.
anyway, these
Thank
are our soft vegetables. We're gonna add them later. Okay, so for now, oh, except for that, hold on. One last thing is our garlic, which is here. Okay, so this is a great use for peeled garlic, in my opinion. Wait, Moj, did Laura have a comment that we need to share? Laura's on Zoom?
Laura's on Zoom, and Laura, it's so weird. I do not see your comment on the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna
so
make it
excited
to
that Laura's
everybody.
on Zoom. Oh, there
Oh,
she is.
I
Julie, it
sent
was
it to
just to you.
Julie.
Right. It was
I'll
just
send
you,
it to
Julie.
everyone. It was not a very important.
Come on, Laura, we need to hear your view.
My view is that I love my pressure cooker and I use it for 10 years, but it takes up a lot of room in your kitchen and it's not necessary to making chicken soup.
Okay.
The other thing I was gonna say about making chicken soup, Sarah, is that you put it all in the pot and then you walk away from it. I cook it for hours. I know Julie
Exactly.
doesn't
Oh.
cook as long as I do, but yeah, and then it's fun. You don't have to play with it. You just
You
put it in
don't.
there.
No, there's not. Actually, I feel like chicken soup is one of the easiest things to make. Does anyone else? It's just
I
like,
think
it's just easy.
I'm just
wait.
amazed at how many veggies you're putting in your chicken soup.
I know, but that's what makes it good because so wait, look, here's my garlic. Okay. Now I know this is an absurd amount of garlic, but I use this because it really flavors it. And then I put it in the schmata. That's, a rag. And then I take this and when I do this, it just sort of splits it. Okay. And then I'm just dumping it in. Okay.
Another comment is David, Laura loves that you're wearing an apron and Julie is not. It's a very
This is Jesse's from Brandeis Kindergarten,
awesome.
made for my dad and me.
No, this is all we have left. The apron. No children. They don't call, they don't write. Okay, our soup is on the way. We're moving on to matzo balls. Okay. Who makes matzo balls? If everyone already makes them and doesn't care, I can just
already
give
made
the recipe.
them. I made mine.
You already made them for Passover, Tony?
Yeah, they're in the
You're a rock star.
freezer.
Ask Lisa now.
Okay. All right. I think we'll make them because it's so easy and fast. And frankly, we want them to eat. So, okay, this is my mother's recipe. It's kind of a recipe. But I have to tell you, I don't know why. I think it's the salted butter. It's just, they're really good. Okay, so
Jules, will you be posting these recipes later?
I will.
Thank
But I
you.
just didn't have time to put it all together.
It's all good.
Maybe if you gave me a raise, Moji.
I will definitely. Because some of us just use the mix and I'm looking at you making real matzo balls.
No, don't use the mix. It's so easy to make real matzo balls.
I outed myself.
Joyce is shaking her head. Do you agree, ladies? Tony?
Oh, yes, I make it from scratch or made.
So wait, just watch how fast this is, okay? 4 eggs. Dave is nodding at me with encouragement. Do you think Springsteen would do that? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be in the kitchen with me, would he? Now Sam said he would probably.
Joanne Green is on Facebook and saying hi to you from Los Angeles. We got a bunch of people. Alona Rafael is on there. And
Wait,
Deborah.
Wait, that's so funny. I just saw Lona and she was like, it's great that you do your cooking class. I'm not coming, which I was like, you don't have to come.
She's here. Amy Barad, Ricky Carroll. Ted Block is watching you from Florida.
Who?
Ted Block. It's
Oh,
not Sharon, but
yes.
it's Ted.
It's Sharon.
Rebecca's on there. Chef
Oh my
Jeff is
God,
on
you
there.
guys, I'm verklempt.
Tell Ted we said hi.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's such a gorgeous day. I can't believe anybody's that. Okay, 4 eggs. Don't write this down. I'm sending it to you. 4 eggs, 4 tablespoons of water, 4 tablespoons of butter, which, hon, can you just quarter cup. Sarah, now I feel self-conscious, like I'm privileged that I have an assistant in the kitchen. Look, she's shaking, she's nodding her head. Yeah, but no, it's gotta be, it has to be, just put it in the microwave. I do this alone. I'm just saying I do this alone. I toil alone in the kitchen, constant, like schwitzing. Okay, so butter, water, eggs, very important. And we're really trying to go low salt in our life. But you cannot go low salt with your matzo balls, ladies and Ted. So 1 teaspoon of salt, it's a key. The butter and the salt are critical. And then 1 cup of matzo meal. Now, I use Manischewitz. My mother feels that we have to use straights, but I couldn't find any, so I didn't. Okay, so here's matzo. All right, Moj, do you see how easy this is? Look, now I've been talking. Yeah, dump it in.
I do.
I've been talking. So if I wasn't talking, it would have been even less. It's like 7 minutes.
Has anyone heard of, which I do? So let's remember, I'm from the Middle East, so matzo balls are new to me. Well, 20 or 40 years new. My aunt taught me you put a little bit of club soda in it and it makes it fluffy.
I know people do say that. I've never done it.
It works.
I do it, plus instead of that, I've seen use vodka, and at the end, it's the same thing.
Vodka?
Oh, yes, you put some vodka in your matzo balls as
much,
liquid.
Joyce?
Maybe
What?
2 tablespoons and 2 of water, something like that.
Joyce, what does it do to it?
If you put vodka in your matzo balls, you put vodka in everything.
Yeah, no, just matzo balls. I don't even drink the stuff.
Oh my God. All right, I'm
Certainly-
tempted, but I'm giving this to someone else so they can't come out bad.
No, but club soda, yes, but you don't know the difference, but it makes you
I don't
feel.
know if it really matters. I'll tell you
Yeah.
something I did last year, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because it was so good.
So if you put club soda in it, is that in place of the water, or is
Yes, yeah.
I put it in addition.
Half and half.
it in
So
addition to?
this is something I'm just showing you that you can improvise. So last year I didn't have enough matzah meal, but I had matzah farfel, which is basically like crumbled matzah, right, Tony? Tony's very engaged. You are. And so I used some matzah farfel instead of the matzah meal, and I have to tell you that they were the best matzo balls I've ever made. So now I'm gonna do this. Now, weirdly, this is whole wheat, so it might not be as good. But all I'm saying is I'm experimenting, and Barbara and those of you new to cooking, you should experiment, because why not? Life is short, and look, it's matzo balls. How bad could it be? Okay, so I did that. Now my mother says that you have to put this in the refrigerator for like 10 minutes. There's all these like things that mothers say about cooking. No one, is my mom on, by the way?
I don't see her.
Okay. Look, my mom is the master. I am like a small gnat compared to my mother as a cook. So, but I don't really get why you would need to do it, but I still do it because she told me to. So that'll go into the fridge, and now we're moving on. And now we're gonna put them in. I'm gonna show you later. Yeah.
Do you ever use your food processor for that? Because I use my food processor for most everything.
So I think I would wait. Was that Paula?
No.
No, it was Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. But wait, you use your food processor for matzo balls?
Well, for mixing it, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, if you're using the mixing blade, sure. I think I wouldn't use the blade because I think it's like you don't want to over mix it. You know, the thing with matzo balls, you want them to float and be light. So yeah, sure. I agree. And I am a huge fan. We've been talking for 2 years about having a class just for the food processor because I am a huge fan of the food processor. Okay.
Julie, on Facebook, we have another comment.
Yeah.
Amy Barad puts ginger ale in her matzo balls.
Same idea.
Amy, please,
Same idea.
please, really? Okay.
Yeah. Same
I
idea.
put ground ginger in matzo balls. A friend from whose family were Romanian, they do it, and ever since she
Wonderful.
told me to do it, I've been doing it.
Okay.
It's wonderful. I do it too.
That's so, see, you can do whatever. Now, I was going to tell you what I had thought about actually, but again, I'm making this for somebody, so I'm worried they might not like it. But with the Moroccan chicken soup, what I usually do is that I make the soup and I serve it with couscous
Mhm.
and chickpeas.
Mm.
And in the couscous, I mix ground white pepper with ground turmeric and salt and a little olive oil. But for Passover, we can't have couscous. So Dave and I thought about putting this in the matzo balls, but then I'm just thinking I'm worried to do that because if I don't know, it just seems like if it probably would be good. I bet Adelangi would put them in. But instead, I'm going to just say, I'm going to advise you to put them in the soup. That makes those spices change the quality from traditional chicken soup to Moroccan.
Yeah.
It's super yum. While we're on the subject, I am going to show you that, I mean, we've all seen chickpeas, but I just need to have a short monologue on real chickpeas. So we wouldn't have had time to do this, but these are real. They were dried. People sometimes are afraid to make them and they're like, oh, I'll just use cans. I am really like for hummus, if you're making your own hummus, use the cans. But for something like this where texture really makes a difference, I really urge you to make real, like start with dry chickpeas. Now, I have to tell you, I don't really read the directions, as I often don't. And you just don't have to. Put them in boiling water and cook them until they're at the desired consistency. I think it was about a half an hour, but I just checked. I guess that may be toiling a little, but it's worth it. I should just pay attention how long, but I think it's about 30 minutes. Anyway, so this is what, at the end, I think by the end, the soup might be ready so I can serve you a cup and so you see the whole thing together. And then the couscous, which I'm not going to show you because it's Passover. Okay, before we move on to our veggie kugel, does anyone have questions or other ideas for their matzo balls, traditions you want to share,
I
etc.?
just want to say that I looked it up and the seltzer will give you fluffy matzo balls. The water will give you firmer.
Interesting.
Yes, I found it interesting.
You know what?
Because the carbon dioxide.
Yeah, the carbon dioxide. Okay, well, you know what? Next time I'm going to try that. Okay, anything else before we move on? Hannah, I think you're going to have to go like, hold on, so stay there. You're going to have to like pick it up so people can see it, but first we'll do. So, okay, this is not, when I was talking to Dave about this, he's like, how can you call that a kugel? There's like chard in it. Okay, the point is, think of broccoli kugel, think of potato kugel. Yes, there are noodle kugels, right? And you can go online and you will find a million recipes for traditional kugel. But I am all about, I should have said it earlier, we're really trying to eat healthy and a lot of veggies. And veggie kugels are a thing, right? And so I think what I have learned, actually just in the last couple of weeks, I was trying these different recipes and I was like, darn it, we can use these for Passover. So this leads me, I'm surprised no one said, why are you putting chickpeas? It's Passover. Did anyone have that question?
You know, they've changed the rule.
That is why. In fact, Tony, I consulted with Rabbi Stacy and was like, is it true that we're allowed to have?
Yeah.
And so it turns out like the conservative, whatever, body decided that you could have lentils and beans and those
Rice, corn, all of those things.
all of it. So yay, that like totally opens up new possibilities.
I'm Sephardic. We always ate that stuff.
Yeah, I pretended for a long time we're Sephardic.
Right? That's what we do. I said, I'm Sephardic. I can be from the Italian side, right?
23andMe, so we're all everything, right? So anyway, so what I want to say about this veggie kugel idea is I want you to think about it in terms of like, what veggies do you like and turn them into a kugel? And so I am using a few that I found that I really like, but really you can sub it for any combination that makes sense to you. So today what I am doing is I'm doing squash, or I don't know, what is this? It's not a zucchini.
Mexican.
What is this?
Mexican.
It's a Mexican squash. Mexican squash, zucchini, chard, and broccolini. Okay. And so I am going to saute that. And then I'm going to show you, but I'm going to put it into a bowl. We're going to add eggs. We're going to add basil. And then crazily, we're going to add beans. And this is so good. And what I like about this is it's a meal. It's not, veggie kugel usually is like a side dish, but this, like Dave and I ate this last week, like 3 nights for dinner. It's just like, it's a meal. So here we go. Yeah. So we're going to do that. And in the meantime, and I don't know why I don't want to put onions in this, but I just don't want to, so I'm not going to. I'm going to put the chicken soup back here. Now, do you see how gigantic this chicken soup is going to be? It's like really, and here's the thing. I am really a big believer in volume, because even though we now only have Dave and I in the house, it's like you're going through the whole potchki. Why wouldn't you freeze it so that, like, do you know how often we're like, I don't want to cook?
Right.
Freezer, right? So, I mean, this is common sense, but I often see that people like don't, and I would do big, I'm going to just say, I like doing big chunks. I'm really into big chunks. So
Amy Barad, who's on Facebook, just sent me a picture. She uses a recipe for matzo balls from her Teaneck, New Jersey sisterhood cookbook from 1972.
Oh my God. And what's
That had the ginger ale in it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay, so this, I want to see that. Moj, how can we share that? Like, is there an easy way to? So look, again.
Absolutely. I'll send it to you. We can include it in the notes.
We can include it.
It's okay.
Okay, so I'm just showing you like also how fast this is. Now, Dave, again, is a surgeon, so he's going to make these all perfect and beautiful. I would have just had big chunks, but of course there's no wrong way to do it. And so then what we're doing is we're just gonna put it in. So can you just hold that and let me? And the key is, these are all, you don't want to like cook them to death. But I'm gonna just wait. I feel like you are showing unflattering parts of my body. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this. And for now, I'm also gonna add a little water. Just to like have it, soften it a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the lid on. And while that cooks, we're going to move on to our next thing.
Jules Canner David has joined us, and he says,
"Oh my God!"
He says you're making him hungry.
Canner David, let's have a little.
We'll have a delivery.
Yeah, you know what, Canner David, you're getting a delivery because what you have done with these adult b'nai mitzvahs it's just absurd. They were so fabulous today. Okay, I'm very honored that Canner David is here. I'm not sure I can imagine you cooking. I'm not, no offense, but I'm happy to have the company. So I'm gonna look at my pretty bowl. This is from Target. Again, we want pretty. These were like $30. And they have lids. I don't know if they still have them, but I love them so much that I bought 2 sets because look, like, don't you just want to cook and use this pretty, right? Okay. So we're cooking that. And then in the meantime, this is my kugel. I'm going to crack 3 eggs and scramble them.
Are those bowls ceramic or metal?
No, they're plastic. I think that's maybe not, I'm not allowed, but they're plastic. And I'm going to use my fork and I'm just gonna, all right, you can't, I don't want to pour the eggs onto my laptop, but you'll just know I'm scrambling 3 eggs, right? So the eggs in this situation are gonna give it body, okay? And then in the meantime, I'm gonna organize the top Top is very yummy. It's crunchy. So usually if it weren't Passover, because what I did before, you know, what I've been doing lately with veggie cookie, this is just a staple that you can just think about in terms of like, I want to eat more vegetables. Veggies, add eggs, add seasonings, put them in a pie, you know, glass thing, and then top them with something crunchy. So usually I would be using panko and Parmesan, but since we can't use panko, I am going to use matzo meal. Is it as good as panko? No, it is not. But we have to suffer because a little bit at least. So here's what I'm doing. I'm just, again, because we really don't need to measure. I'm gonna say, I mean, I'm envisioning like, you know, what am I gonna need for the top of that thing? So I'm gonna say maybe that was a half a cup, and then I'm gonna pour in some Parmesan. Now, I mean, you can never have too much Parmesan, let's be honest, but, and so what this is gonna do, what?
That's Tony.
Yeah, Tony, right? Can't have enough, never too much Parmesan.
Never too much Parmesan.
Probably also olive oil. Yeah, too much olive oil.
Yeah,
Julie,
yes,
so
I put olive oil in my matzo balls.
olive oil, right?
I use olive oil in my matzo balls.
Oh,
I'll have to try the butter dough.
Right.
I bet those are awesome, but I do think that there's something about, I usually almost only use olive oil rather than butter just because of the cholesterol, but
Yeah,
I don't know, I feel like there's something about.
but I'm going to try it in matzo balls next time with butter. I am.
My
Do.
grandmother made them with chicken fat.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. Okay, someone had wait, first I just want to say, I just drizzled a little olive oil in just to make it, but then at the end, you don't even have to do this because the other thing, the trick I do is I just pour it on top of the kugel and then I spray it with like real olive oil and then it just gets crunchy on top. Okay, so we're kind of prepped. We're waiting for our veggies. Did someone have questions while I'm seeing what's happening here?
I just wanted to read you a comment off of Facebook. Back
Yeah.
to the big pot of soup. Maxine at Wax says, no point in making chicken soup unless making a giant pot. You can freeze it for the future or bring it to someone who's sick. Love that.
Exactly. That is what we're doing. Actually, we're bringing it to our contractor who is sick and
There you go. And
Okay, so
Fred
look,
Ross Perry with your
Yeah.
Parmesan comment.
yes,
Death, taxes, never too much Parmesan.
Right.
Fred, I always knew you were brilliant. It's true. Okay, also, I would like to take a moment to pause. Is this not a thing of beauty? Do we agree? So I'm just saying in a world,
Yes.
in a war-torn world, we need to take a moment and like, look at how pretty like my yellow eggs are and my, I mean, it's I mean, I think I've been in California too long, but it's really true. It's how I feel. Okay. So wait, let me check our veggie kugel thing. So we have chard, we have zucchini, we have broccolini. I really like the combo of chard and broccolini. It's just, I don't know, it's yummy. Now we don't want to use, oh yeah, we don't want to use like, we don't want to cook them too much because remember they're going in the oven. You just want to soften a little. Now I'm going to go to something that Amy, oh my God, we have special guests. Stop everything. My mother, my beautiful, glamorous mama, and my beautiful, gorgeous, brilliant daughter have come for a small visit. Mom, I already said, like, I am a small gnat compared to you in the kitchen, but, you know,
It is not true.
Okay, well, I'm very happy to see you.
You're
Okay,
fabulous and your delivery is a lot livelier than mine would ever hope to be.
well, I have to make up in some way. Okay, on to something that Amy Fredericks, Amy, I hope you're still with us. Amy introduced this to me, and I'm just be honest, when she first told me about this, I thought to myself, well, I guess that's good for you. Never use that. Like, how could you not use fresh garlic? Tony's nodding her head because she agrees. But I have to tell you, Amy is right. This tastes like garlic. And you know what? When you're just sick of like crushing garlic, you just like squeeze it in and there's a little bit of salt in it. So
Really?
I am now, Amy, thank you so much, because I am now a huge fan.
Wow.
Well, of course, fresh garlic's gonna be better. But so here's what, look at how scientific I am. This is our mom. This is veggie kugel. Okay, that's good. So we want to just put some in, right?
Well, do you ever use the Osem frozen one?
You know, I do, because that's the one that Heidi showed me. I actually like this better. I think it tastes better. I don't know. Okay, I think we're just gonna wait. Do you think our veggies? Actually, our veggies are ready. Okay, so look what we're doing. Actually, do you feel like that's too big?
No.
No?
We'll do it.
Well, no, we have to put it in here because of the eggs. Okay, so here's, everyone view the beauty. Okay, now I hope that this doesn't scramble my eggs. We're gonna find out. Okay, so basically, again, let's just look. It's just zucchini, chard, broccolini, and eggs and garlic.
It would be better to let it cool.
And wait a minute, I forgot something that's really important. Again, it's really, this is a California version of Passover, because I am going to add basil, because it's just good. What happened to that basil? Oh yeah, it's just good. Now, I didn't go to Trader Joe's because I was too lazy, but you know, now at Trader Joe's and also Safeway, they have these basil plants. They're so, raise your hand if you get them. Okay, Tony and Barbara. You guys, I usually have one, I buy two, and I take a glass vase. I'm gonna show you. Okay, I can't find it. Yeah, wait, is it that? All right, well, just pretend. It's a rectangular vase that's a bit like this.
Cute.
And then I put two in at once, and it is like this gorgeous plant on your kitchen island. And suddenly you're a cook because you have basil in your kitchen, and you're constantly, it smells good. And suddenly you're putting it in your eggs, you're putting it on toast, you're just eating more basil. So I'm very sad to like have this sad, you know, like this. But that's, I was at Safeway, and I don't know why they don't have it at Safeway right now. So anyway, I'm gonna take a handful of basil. I'm just gonna rip it up. Barbara, doesn't this feel accessible to you in your new stage as a Jewish cook in your 70s? Yes? Okay. So look, it smells basil-y. I mean, I wish you could smell it. It's just so great. Okay, now here we go. Where's what happened to
Put it in
my,
the bowl?
here, wait, I'm my sous chef. Okay, so look. Now, I feel like I wish that our bowl was a little smaller because it's not as pretty. But okay, like theoretically, you know what, hon? I know this is so annoying, but I think I'm gonna put it in this small bowl. Because it also is gonna help show. And the thing about improvisational.
Beans into it too?
Oh yeah, I forgot the beans. Okay, look. Here's my beans. Now, I don't want a ton of beans, because the thing about the beans, I mean, we're just gonna be honest, is they're high calorie dense. You don't want, okay, wait, someone needs to put themselves on mute if they're chatting. But, so look, Dave just reminded me, but so now I just added protein. I think I want more actually. In fact, I'm gonna put some of my good chickpeas in. So now, look at this good thing. But because it's like too thin, I don't want it this thin. Now, do you think this is gonna be too much? Oh, wait. Okay, we're gonna do it. Now, what's sad about this is now we have something else to clean, but we're willing to do this for Road of Shalom. We're willing to have more pots to clean. Okay, so see, I'm very happy. I'm happier because it's thick.
She said, we're doing this for Road of Shalom. We're willing to have more pots to clean.
We are, because because we will toil for Road of Shalom. Just look at Moji. Moji's in a constant state of toiling for Road of Shalom. Okay, so this is it. We're putting this in the oven. Now I'm first putting it in the oven to make it, wait, because I want it to cook down, because the topping is gonna come later. Because otherwise what's gonna happen is the topping is gonna burn and my veggies are not gonna cook enough. That is
So
what
so all you're using is 3 eggs and no other liquid.
no other liquid.
Okay.
You just don't need it. Okay, so this is going in the, we'll see how it goes, friends. It
Yeah.
worked last week. Okay.
I have a question. Why do you prefer the glass pan rather than metal for that?
You know, it's what we have. Again, I like glass because I like to see. And the good thing about being able to see is you can see if it is cooked. Because with metal, you're like, who knows, unless you dig and dig, you know, but the glass, you look, you can tell if it's cooked. Okay, you're gonna ask me, how long do you cook it for? I don't know, but you cook it in probably about a half hour. You cook till it's ready, until it's gelled, but it's probably half an hour. And if this seems scary to not have like more rules, just know the joy is once you get the feeling of it, you learn. And then even though I can't give you an exact, it's like, you'll know it's about a half an hour, but you learn to trust your instincts, and sometimes you'll be wrong and it will be overcooked, but who cares?
Jules,
Okay.
there's a question from Counter David, who's still watching us, about that. When do you add the topping if it's a half hour?
So I would say you cook it for a half an hour. Okay, Canner David, who knew you thought of details like this? This is not the way I think of you. So I would say we're going to cook it for a half an hour. Then we're going to add the top. But look, we're together. It's okay. Well,
another 10 minutes with the top.
Yeah, it's another 10 minutes with the top till it's crunchy, right? And then you just cook it more. And then we eat it. And then the next day I put it back in the oven to get it crunchy again, because no one wants kugel without a crunchy top. Why would you eat those calories if it's not crunchy? You don't want soggy topping. Okay, we have to move along. I can't even believe how, by the way, if you're bored, what?
The matzo balls.
Oh, the matzo balls. Okay, I'm gonna just show you. This is my mom's trick. Mom, I'm giving you always credit. But this is like something that I think some people know, but I'd never really thought of this. In order to make this so that it cooks evenly, what you do is you actually, but we're gonna, in the interest of time, I'm gonna just show you, and then poor Dave is gonna do the work. Okay, where's my matzo ball mix? Here's my matzo ball. So mom, now that you're here, we're gonna put you on the spot. I told everyone that you're like, you have to put it in the refrigerator. And I was like, no one knows why. But wait, before you answer, so now you're gonna tell us why. I use an ice cream scoop. And wait, you wanna wash your hands with water, because if there's water on your hands, you can handle them, okay? So I'm gonna just take it off so it doesn't stick. All right, you can imagine mine are not gonna be perfect, but who cares, because they're gonna be really good. So I'm gonna just do this. All right, hon, then you can take over. And then the idea is you have them all on your thing, and then you can put them in all at once and they cook for the same amount of time. Does that make sense? So this is, as you know, I'm not a big rule follower, but that with matzo balls, it is important that they, and actually I do have a time, and I'm gonna include it in the recipe. Look, Mom, it's so old. My mom says about 35 minutes. Okay, and the trick is, and I'm gonna show you once we do it, you have to do it in a big enough pot so they dance. You can't cram them in there. If they don't have room to go around, then that's what makes them too dense, okay? All right, we're moving on. We've done chicken soup. We've done, Laura, that's such a good picture of you and Steve. We've done chicken soup. We've done matzo balls. We've done the veggie kugel. We're moving on to the haroset. Mom, I didn't ask for your permission. I'm giving your haroset recipe away.
Oh my God.
I hope it's okay. And we've called it Israeli haroset simply because you're Israeli and you gave it to me. I'm not really sure why it's Israeli. But guys, this is the easiest recipe, but it is the best haroset. It's so good, in fact, that my brother forces his daughters like slaves to make it for him on a regular basis just to eat it. Like having nothing to do with Passover. So these are the ingredients. Yes, there's the secret ingredient. Okay, hold on. The ingredient, Mom, in the meantime, tell us about why do we have to put it in the fridge? Do you know?
Mimi,
What? I'm sorry.
why she was asking why do we have to put the matzo balls in the fridge?
Remember you told me that the mixture has to go in the fridge. What is it?
Yeah, but for a short time, not too long.
Like 10 minutes. You know, some of these things.
I put it in, then immediately, have the water boiling, and by the time the water is boiling, I put them in.
Should I put them in?
Did you? Yeah. No, because honey, it has to be.
Boiling?
Wait, this is one thing about the matzo balls. It has to be simmering before you put them in. It must be simmering. I'm gonna write this down in the recipe. Okay, here we are. We're on to haroset. I'm watching our time. It's 4. We're good. We're actually really good. Okay, so this is like the easiest thing. Oh, wait, guys, this is very important. I forgot. This is like my one responsibility. And here's my responsibility. It's like I'm on QVC and I'm now selling knives. I'm not selling them, but here's what I'm going to say this really fast. Okay, these are the most beautiful knives. They are so fun to use. And I'm going to show you my favorite knife that I use for everything, which is this. Now, is this not like a thing of beauty? Joyce, do you agree? Okay. Moji, do you agree?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Love those knives.
All right, so this is what happened really fast. The tips broke on 2 of them. And I was like, what? So I emailed the company and I was like, hi, is there a warranty, please? Because I love my knives, but I'm very sad to see the tips broken. So and they were like, oh, that's horrible. We're so sorry. Because it's a really nice, good knife company. And they said, please send them back. Please send them back. We'll fix them. We'll sharpen them. Then 3 days later, I get an email from some random person at their company saying, this is a sad comment on today's world. We're so appreciative that you didn't go on social media and like blast us and fetch about us, that we want to send you a free knife. And I was like, okay. But I just thought that was sad. And then they furthermore, where's the one that they sent me?
Right here.
And wait, you guys look at this knife. It's insane. Okay, you can't even tell how gorgeous this knife. It's literally like a piece of art. I want to put it in a frame. You can't tell. Unfortunately, it's just not showing through. Anyway, then they found out I had a cooking show and they were like, we want you to give away a knife in appreciation. So who would like to win a knife? I know you all would. And by the way, I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit this, $230 for a Fakakta knife. Okay. Okay. But it's so worth it. Anyway, in order to win this knife, I'm really feeling like I'm on QVC right now, but you have to go to my website. Jess, put in the chat, go to my website. It took my media person like 2 hours to figure out how to create the pop-up. So just for that reason, to thank her, please just put your email address in and you will be, and it's probably not going to be a lot of people we're choosing from. Then they're going to draw and then someone's going to win one of these. Okay. Also, this reminds me I have to go into my email because I have a discount code for all of you, even if you didn't win the knife, but I'm going to do that. Okay, we're back to haroset.
What is a squiggly line on a knife you had?
It's just like a design feature, just to like make it pretty.
It's a Japanese knife, and the squiggly line helps the food separate from the knife.
Wait, did you just make that?
No, I didn't make it up.
Oh my God.
On German knives, it's not a squiggly line. It's usually vertical things, but on Japanese knives, it usually looks like this.
See, Bruce Springsteen would not have known that. Sam Sifton would have known that. Okay, so here I am, and I'm making haroset. I'm gonna just go through this so fast because oh no, we really have a half an hour. But we kind of figure like everyone's sick of Zoom, so I don't want to keep you. We were planning to do to 4:15, but then by accident it got put as 4:30. So anyway, we'll go quickly. We're actually kind of almost there. So anyway, Dave's. Now, here's the thing of haroset. Now, Mom, chime in if I'm doing it wrong, but It just depends. Like some people shred their apples. I'm not into that as much. I think Moroccan, actually, yeah, it's some people, to me, like there's something yummy about having like a little square. Now, this is the one thing, it's not going to be pretty like Dave's is going to be. See, Dave's going to show me up right now because I'm just like plodding through with mismatched things, and his are going to be like the same size. But anyway, the idea is you want like a bite of apple, a bite of apricot, you want it to really combine. So I like to have a little square. Okay, Dave's gonna do this. Here are the other ingredients. Oh, there's no blade. Now, my mom says, and we need to listen to my mom, Turkish apricots, because they're fat and juicy. You can't start using like those skinny, chewy ones, because you want them to be fat. This is one instance in the Jewish religion where fat is good, okay? So you want your Turkish, I got these at Safeway, by the way. So, and then I'm gonna just show you, I mean, you'll see at the end, but this is toiling. I mean, not to overuse this thing that you've said, Sarah, and make you feel that you wish you didn't say it, but this is toiling because you really do want them to be little squares so that in each bite, you're getting an apple and you're getting an apricot, and then you're getting, and this is the other thing, is your walnuts, okay? So let me use my favorite knife. And so we're cutting up walnuts, apples, and apricots. And I'm gonna, with this, with the walnuts, it doesn't matter as much it's not like they have to be even. I'm just gonna do yeah. Okay, that's good. It's like you want them to be chunks, right? Okay, so here we go. And the way my brother makes it less, wait, and then watch what we're gonna do. Less caloric is he does more apples. Sadly, apricots are very fattening, and walnuts
Ma,
super fattening. Yeah.
we have to go, but
Can we see it later?
no, well,
Mom, I think you know how to make this since you taught me. But
No, but I love to see you no matter whatever you do,
The
huh?
recording will be on Facebook. You can just go to the Road to Shalom Facebook page under recordings. And we will also put it on our website from the Zoom recording
Okay.
like we do.
all right. Thanks.
girls, thanks for tuning in from sunny Florida.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
And I love you, sous chef.
Yeah. Isn't he good? Okay. So the apricots. And then I'm going to show you, but I have to, not to be critical, but this is too big. Okay. So, and then I'm going to show you what we do once things are chopped in, but just as a preview, this is radical. You're going to put in some apricot preserves, and this is a secret ingredient, and only tell people that you like Manischewitz.
You have to, yeah.
You have to, Joyce?
Yeah, you have to have a liquid of some kind. If
Yes.
you're gonna, a little,
This is so,
that's good.
makes the whole thing. It
Yeah.
makes the whole thing. Is Cantor David still with us?
I believe he is. Jules, for my Sephardic Persian one, we use pomegranate juice.
Oh, well, that would be delicious too.
No apples.
But that would be, and no, wait, what's in it, Moj?
It is almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, roasted, all chopped up. Ours is more of a paste. Dates
yours
and
is probably-
raisins.
I tasted
Dates
it,
and
yeah.
raisins that have been overnight soaked, also all in the food processor. It's all in paste, a little cinnamon, a little nutmeg. You can throw in an apple just to stick it all together, and then pomegranate juice.
Right. It's delicious because I tasted it last year. I got a little gift of that from you. And it's a totally different consistency. So this is more of like, it's more crunchy. It's more like yours is more pasty. It's soft. This is like you're really crunching apples and you're crunching walnuts. But then it's bound together with this. Okay. Also, there's a weird thing. I like Smucker's is not a jam I would use on bread. Like I don't really buy Smuckers. I would usually use kind of like a nicer, like a more kind of whatever, like a higher end one, just because they don't have as many, whatever it is. But in that, it makes it a little sweet, and it's just really, and the consistency is right.
Is this the right amount?
Yeah, but now we have a lot of apples, but yeah. Okay, but yeah, I would say we want, well, we're not, you know what, Dave and I, because it's just, you really want it to be kind of even ratios of walnuts and apples and apricots, but because we're doing it the way we want, because we don't want a ton of we don't want a ton of calories. So ours is going to be more apple-y, but literally there, again, there's not a lot of measuring going on. You're just going to like pour some in, and then see, and this is the fun part. Are you in the, we'll put in the matzo balls in a second. Let me just do this first. So I'm going to take like a couple big, you know, you don't want so much that like there's globs. And what happens is that, you know, you don't know that, people don't know there's jam in this, by the way, right? It just adds, sort of a texture, and then it's sugary. But I cannot express to you how good this Clarissa is.
And if you want an adult version, this is Slivovitz. It's plum brandy, and it's kosher for Passover. So if you want to get your guests drunk, you can put that in too.
Hun, that's so radical. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. But really, your version is going to have things be more even if you're serving it. Okay, I'm tasting it. That's the fun part of cooking like this.
So Julie, did you put would you say a half a cup or a cup of the Manischewitz? You poured it. Trying to figure it out.
It depends how much you have, right? I didn't measure. What I want, Barbara, is that I want it to be able to, right?
To be pink, to give it color and moisture.
Yeah, you want it to have, right. And over time, the color is it's gonna get kind of
absorb it.
Now, here's the other thing is I like to make it in a big bowl like this, because the Manischewitz goes to the bottom. So you want to stir it every once in a while, right?
At least a day in advance.
Yeah, and well, Dave said you can make it a day in advance. That's true, you can. I actually think it's really good fresh too.
Okay, Maxine Litwack says she keeps a bottle of Manischewitz in the house just for her haroset.
Ooh, you know what I found out today at Safeway? The grocery clerk, who definitely wasn't Jewish, was like, oh, Manischewitz, I put that in my tea. I was like, wow. Which actually sounds really good. Okay, so now look, here's our matzo balls. But see how nice it is that you can just put them all in at once, and you know they're all cooking for the same amount of time. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
The Sephardic girl, why do you not, and I always have, but I do it wrong, obviously, why do you not just cook it in the soup?
You know what, Moj? You could, and I think for me,
is so critical.
but the textures is so critical that, like, you know what, you probably really could. But what I like about this is that it's like, if I put it in my soup, the vegetables are in there. There's all this other stuff in there, and I feel like it isn't going to cook as evenly as, and that they'll get smushed. They won't have enough room. See how there's so much room?
Yeah.
Okay, sense. Tony had a reason.
I was going to say, I had an Israeli friend, the same woman who told me to use the ginger, and she put it right in my soup, and I had a fit because it absorbs all your soup. And if you're trying to cook for a lot of people, you need broth left over.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is true.
That is true.
Really
That's
true.
why I never have enough broth.
That is really true. And you know what, Moj? Everybody, it's hard to have enough broth. It really is. Now, I want to visit our chicken soup before we go to our last dish. Okay, I'm going to say it's not looking pretty because, you know, it doesn't look pretty, the chicken soup, but I'm going to show it to you. But I want to show you what, all right, so there's my chicken soup. I haven't put in a secret ingredient. Now, Julia Child would not approve, but we're not cooking like Julia Child. And the truth is, and I think I've shown all of you this, or anyone who's cooked with me before, but this is this other secret ingredient. And my grandmother, my Hungarian grandmother, said it's okay. So therefore it is. And it just makes it all gel. Okay. So I now am going to, now you say how much? I mean, again, I'm going to try to, am I going to try to estimate in the recipes I send you? Should I, or should I just let you, huh? Paula, what are you saying?
I think you should just eyeball it.
Yeah,
Cooking is an art, not a science.
I really want you guys to think about cooking like this because it frees you. Once you get past your anxiety that like, is it a quarter? Is it an eighth? Then you just realize like, just you figure out what the ingredient tastes like, and then you figure out by tasting how much you want in it, and then you're just freed and you like cooking better. That's my sense. So anyway, hun, come hold this for me so that I can show. So this is how I put in my my bouillon. Now, first of all, I have to say it's awesome, and you can get it at Safeway, Scotty's. It's really good. It's like there are lots of bouillons. This is Israeli. This is by far my favorite. We could have put it in the veggie kugel if we wanted to add a little more salt. You can put it into any soup. You could put it into stir fries. It's just, I don't know, it's really good. So the one thing is you do, like, this is a giant pot of soup. So I'm going to put like I'm going to put 2 big ones. Now, the one thing is super high sodium. Just don't even look at the label. It's chicken soup. If you don't eat it every day, it's just worth it. So I'm putting it in there, and that's cooking. But what you want to do is you want your soup to taste, it shouldn't taste like water. It should taste like chicken soup. So if you put a lot of veggies, and I am a big believer in a lot of veggies. And again, remember we put the whole heart of the celery in there, and I put 3 heads of parsley. A lot of veggies means a lot of flavor. And then I probably put 20 cloves of garlic. So I'm a believer with chicken soup that more is more. More is better when it comes to chicken soup. Now, in terms of like not having enough broth, one way you can get around that is to use a giant pot and add more water, but then just know you're going to have to add more veggies and more consommé. Another thing I've started doing is I've started storing my broth separately than the veggies and the other stuff, because I find that the veggies will soak up all the broth if you store it in the fridge like that. So that's another thing. Okay, Joyce, I always make my soup with what does that say, Moj? Oh, combination of chicken broth and water. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you know what? You could, absolutely. So I guess I use the consommé instead of chicken broth because I like the flavor better. Okay, we're on our last recipe. Okay, but any questions before we do? No, are we good? Moj, do we have anyone on Facebook?
We have lots of people on Facebook, no questions.
That's so exciting. Okay, guys, who eats matzo brie? Raise your hands. Okay, your matzo brie has eggs, onions, matzah? Yeah, okay. This is California matzo brie. And I'm just gonna say, it's amazing. And it's so easy, and here are our ingredients. Okay, Dave has made it like it's a cooking show, like everything is beautiful. Just so you know, it would never look like that. Like when I make this in the morning, trust me, they're not like, but this is why he went to medical school, so he could be a sous chef and have perfect little onions. So here's what I do. And I actually, see, okay, we're gonna do it like this, but I just wanna say, I actually like my onions in the matzo brie to be more like rings, like half rings, like thin slices, but of course you can do it. But I guess matzo brie is kind of more traditionally like this. Here we go. We're gonna, first of all, this is what Dave's doing. He's putting matzah. What? He's moistening the matzah. And then he's letting it sit there. Now, we're really making it California because that's whole wheat matzah, which, let's be honest, is not nearly as good as regular, but we're thinking of our digestion, so we're using whole wheat. Okay. But really, you probably don't want to use, you probably want to use regular. Okay, I'm a big fan of pure avocado oil, or it also can you see this? Or it also comes in olive oil. Just because why add a bunch of oil to eggs? You just don't need that. All right, so here's shiitake mushrooms and onions. Okay.
Jules,
So
a couple of comments while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Maxine Litwack also does turnips and parsnips in her soup to
Soup?
add sweetness.
You know what? And you can. And it's funny, when I make regular traditional chicken soup, I don't, and it's not the Moroccan, I just use celery, carrots, onions, and parsnips, and actually sweet potatoes I often use too. But for some reason, Moroccan, I just feel like it's like about, oh, God, that reminds me, we need to add our soft veggies, which are here. So now, look, so we have cooked this for probably 40 minutes. Now we're gonna put in our soft, okay, kind of burned me, but it's fine. So we put in our soft veggies. And now we're gonna bring it back to a simmer. And this is something that, again, I'm really into, like the veggies not being mushy. That's sort of my one thing, is I want the veggies not to be mushy. So you're gonna do that for, 10 minutes or 50, but you're just gonna try it. Just take one out and put a knife through it. And if it's cooked, you can even take it out. I put like my veggies in a separate bowl once they're done, so they don't keep cooking. Same.
What about the spices? Did you put spices in yet?
So in my Moroccan, oh, you mean the turmeric and
Yeah.
so this is funny. I usually mix that in the couscous
Oh,
so that it's separate. I don't know that you have to, but I think what I would do now is when I serve it, since I'm not using couscous, I would just add it like as salt or pepper, which is what I do, is just at the end when I serve it, a spritz of turmeric, a spritz of white pepper. Those are the two spices. Now, Tony, the truth is, could you put it in now? Yeah, probably. I don't know why it doesn't feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's something about using the spice right at the end before you serve it, where it's a lot more alive. Like it's, you know how that works? Like if you put the pepper in right at the end, you taste it better. So I think that's why. Okay, so here we are. We're making our matzo brie, and it's just, and you guys, I eat, by the way, not with the matzo brie, but just, I'm sure you do too. I eat like a scramble like this very often in the morning. Yeah, we can put the chart in. Yeah, you could do it now. But very often in the morning, I do that. Now, should we look at our veggie kugel? Let's go over here. Okay, this is so high, I can't really see it. But you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, it's cooking, but it's not, you can tell that there's still liquid in it that's being released. So I want the liquid to cook off. So you're not gonna add your topping of the Parmesan and matzo meal till it's cooked. Does that make sense? Joyce, go. You have to go. Thank you for coming. Okay, so Dave's doing this part. We're in the home stretch. He's adding the eggs. He's letting it soak in while we're cooking the veggies. All right. Okay, and while that's cooking, I'm just wondering, like, are there any questions about any of the things we're making while we're making them? Guys, I do want to just point out, in this very short amount of time, we have made chicken soup, matzo balls, veggie kugel, and matzo brie. So you can do it. And now it's true.
And also haroset. You forgot the haroset.
haroset. Thank you. How are they? Now, do you like the matzah in them? Okay, I do hate the part of cooking shows where like the cook is eating, but you're not. Sorry. But okay. I mean, I'm just gonna say they're amazing. They're buttery and salty and fluffy and no seltzer water. So who knows? All right. What else? We're in our last 5 minutes. You guys, who is gonna go to my website, please?
You know, I already tried to do that and
Yeah.
it said you're already a member of her blog and it won't let me do it.
It wouldn't let you do. No, wait a second. But did you do it on the pop-up of the knife?
I thought I did. I'll go back and look.
Go back, because the thing is that I don't know if Jesse put it in here, but in case she
He
did.
did. Jesse put it in and I put it on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There should be a thing that says enter this for your knife giveaway. And the only thing that's going to happen is your name is going to go into the thing, and then the knife company is going to choose somebody. And the other thing is you're going to be like, when I write articles for Oprah or the Times or whatever, you'll get one. Now, P.S. I haven't written one in months because I'm working on another project. Trust me, you're not going to be getting much from me. So, but just, it's still good for me to have people on there. So,
right.
Jules, you have a lot of first-time watchers on Facebook who are making comments about how fun this is and how much they're loving it.
Oh, yay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You guys, I'm so sad you're not here so that you can, all right, so you can eat with us.
Right.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh, that's a matzah. That's a matzah. Okay.
Right? That's the matzah. And Dave's he's gonna put it up. And now when it's done, we're gonna do something so radical, which is definitely like probably against all parts of Judaism, but we are gonna put, or I am gonna, Dave probably want Parmesan on it. Because you know what? Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? There's like veggies in it. Now it's true with regular matzo bread, you would never do that because it's like breakfast, but this is now going to be like a lunch thing.
Yeah.
Now you realize too much matzah, we know what happens, right? Those of us of a certain age.
Yes.
There is a digestive impact.
Right, right.
Okay, so just be aware. Now look at these amazing matzo balls. They're gigantic
beautiful
and fluffy. Okay, wait, hun, will you just take out, okay, Dave's gonna take out the matzo balls, and then I'm gonna just take out the veggie, because I want you to see it. And then look how on time we are. Well, Moj, thank God we did this wrong. I mean, that we did an hour and a half because we kind of needed it.
Yes, we did.
We have you do it.
Do you ever use some other kind of beans in the vegetable kugel?
You know what, Sarah, I'm so glad you asked it, because yes, use whatever you want. And now I had a can of beans open, so I used it. So this is what it's looking like, right? It's still, I don't know if you can tell, but it's cooked, and I'm cooking it more because we're adding this thing to it. Are you seeing this? Yeah. So I like to cut, no, a little bit more, hun, on the corners, because everybody loves the topping, because the topping is what makes it crunchy. And now, hun, are you gonna get the spray? Yeah. So then we're gonna spray a little olive oil on top.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And then if you stuck around, maybe you know what? I should write a blog.
Julie, is that a spray can, not one of the commercials? It's not
That
a
is
commercial?
a spray can. I'm going to tell you the name of it, because I did. It's no. Oh, okay, David. You know what? I think it's because it's old. Yeah, actually, Dave, it's called Evo, and so this is good olive oil that we put in there. But you know what? I wouldn't recommend it. I would I usually use the, Trader Joe's or Whole Foods.
One of theirs.
Because it's, you know why? Because it's, this is called Chosen, but I think they're all the same. But what's good about these is it's really even. So you can go a little spritz.
Yeah.
It's even, and you guys are already going to be gone, but in 10 minutes, that veggie kugel is going to be ready. And it's going to be golden brown.
Yeah.
It's going to be crunchy on the top, and the veggies are going to be al dente. And Sarah, wait, I want to attend your question, which is, I want to finish what I started saying. These are canned beans, which of course is fast and easy. But I made this last week with beans that I made. And again, I just really want you guys to think about, like, I don't know if you're afraid of dry beans. Some people are just like, how do you cook them? It takes too long. I don't know how you, there's all these like Bubba mindses about you have to soak it and then you have to like do a prayer over it. It's so easy. You put them in a thing of water, you cover it with water, you don't measure it, and then you boil it until it's ready, until it's not mushy. And that's all you do. And the beans that we used in our veggie kugel last week, it was so much, they were so good because the real beans like are crunchy and they just have so much better. I'm really a big fan.
Right, don't you have to soak them so to get the rocks, make sure there's no rocks in them?
Honestly, Barbara, I've been cooking I have never discovered a rock in beans in all of my years of cooking. I think it's the lawyers just told you, no, you can rinse them if you want, but I don't even think you have to. All right, all right, Dave is putting this out. So here is our haroset. You can't, okay, that's our matzo bright. It's not pretty though, because the lighting isn't good in here, but anyway, it is pretty in real life. And then here is the matzo balls. And then you guys, all right, I'm going to do this on my blog because you can't tell like this, when I make this chicken soup, I want you to imagine it's a glass bowl. I put chicken soup, I put green zucchini, I put orange butternut squash, I add the chickpeas, I'll add the matzo balls. If it was not Passover, I would put couscous, which is yum, or you could use brown rice. Can we use brown rice now? Yeah, you could do brown rice, I guess. And it's like, the chicken soup is like a meal in itself. You literally like, don't even serve it. If you serve it at your Seder and you give people like a big bowl of it, no one is going to eat dinner because it's a huge thing. There's chicken and there's all the veggies and the whole thing. So anyway. Okay, anything else? Any other questions?
Okay, adding the chicken to the chicken soup, to the matzo ball soup.
What about it?
Just pull off the skin and chop it up and throw it in.
Oh, no, gosh. I took a chicken. I took a whole chicken.
Right after you've
Hi,
cooked.
Tony. Thank you for coming. Mwah, mwah. Bye, Mickey. I take a chicken. Hi, Mickey.
Mickey says, great job, David, as well as you. He
You
wants to
know,
know, David.
It's a medical degree, has many uses. Barbara, I take a whole chicken. I take it to the butcher and I say, could you cut this into 8 pieces? Right? And then I dump it in. And I don't deskin, you don't need to deskin or anything. Now, if you separate your chicken from your veggies, I mean, if you take your veggies and your chicken in one bowl and then you put the broth in another and put it in the fridge, the next day there's going to be like a layer of chicken fat. And then you just skim it off. Now my grandmother would skim it off onto a piece of bread and eat it, but I'm unable to do that. But you know, so that's it. You don't have to dice. You don't have to.
Well, after you take it off the bone, when you put it.
No, you want the bones in the chicken soup. Did you see what I did? Like I had a chicken, it was 8 pieces of chicken with the back.
When you serve it.
Oh, when I serve it with chicken. I know, I don't take it off the bone.
Okay.
But you don't have to. Let them do it.
Sounds good.
Barbara, they need to toil. Let them do it. Also, there are those of us who like to eat the bones. I'm not going to talk about it because people get grossed out, but there are those people who chew on the bones, which really sounds gross, but if you're from that world, they're actually really delicious. So
Yes, they are, Jules.
Okay, it's 4:30. The one thing I wanted to also tell you as a bonus is that I got this. They are selling these orchids at Safeway for 1 stem. And then they're so gorgeous. They last forever. And then what you can do, Moj, I'm going to do like next cooking class. I was thinking I need to do flowers, but look what I did. So I just cut them off. I used some, this is from a different orchid stem, but I took each one off and put it in a separate thing. Now I have little crystal vases, but you can also float them in like a glass bowl that you would use for soup, So anyway, I just want to say flowers are just, I really love flowers, and they're another beautiful thing that you can use to make your life happy.
Wait, I have something to add, especially if you're into cooking. Your herb, when you finish your herbs in a bottle, just save those little bottles and put your flowers in wilts.
I do the same thing.
Love it.
I do the same thing. Those are such good ones. Yes.
The little glass bottles?
Yes.
Yeah, like this spice come in. No, this is Barbara. We're kindred spirits. I have a whole look. Can you see in my very disorganized, but
yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then you can do like 5 on a table and do 1, 2, take flowers and just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It'll say Paragon. It'll say all the names on it with a flower.
Yeah, but who cares, right? Guys, happy Passover. This was so much fun. Thank you to Moji. Thank you to Dave. Everyone say thank you to Dave. And we'll see you next time. And thank you all for coming on such a gorgeous day. And I don't know who's on Facebook, but thank you for coming. And it's so much fun. And have a great week.
Okay.
Lots of people thanking you on Facebook. And please remember, the recording will be on Facebook. If you missed anything, we will also post it on the website. If you haven't been to Julie's classes before, they are up there on our website, and you can go and watch the ones that she's done in the past couple of years. And Jules, we'll talk about where we're going to post the recipes, because people kept jumping on and off, and I'm worried about missing people. So we'll talk.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, wait, do you have everybody's email address?
I believe so, but I'm worried on Facebook I might have missed some people. So we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll figure it
Gary
out.
Novak is coming over shortly for a taste.
Oh, good. Listen, if you guys, we have these people's email addresses. We have Barbara's and Sarah's. I know we have Paula's.
Oh yeah, I got everyone on Zoom. No worries.
Okay, super. Okay, bye guys. Have a
Happy
great
Passover,
day.
everyone.
Thanks for coming.
Happy
Bye.
Passover. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.